Shalom Yasharallah. First and foremost, I want to say all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Racha HaKadosh. Double honors to the apostles and elders of the house of David. Salutations to you, brothers throughout the four corners of the earth, teaching the truth and righteousness and sincerity to you, Israelite foreigners. Come back home to the truth. To those that passed on serving the Lord, the dead in Yahweh Shai shall arise first. To the believing sisters, keep encouraging and supporting your brothers that are out here risking our lives in the streets. And lastly but not least, always remember the sister who washed Yahweh Shai feet in the scriptures. I want to read one scripture, and I'm gonna drive, because I got to go pick my mother up. 2 Ezra 2:47. So he answered and said unto me, it is the Son of God whom they have confessed in the world. Then began I greatly to commend them that stood so stiffly for the name of the Lord. All right, so what I want to talk about is standing stiffly in the name of, basically Bahashem Yahweh Shai, right? What do it mean to stand like stiffly? It sounds easy, but when you actually live that lifestyle of standing stiffly, because that's a life. That's basically a career. Standing stiffly for the Lord. Because a lot of people ain't doing it. A lot of people are folding. Rewind back to when I first came into truth. It was the year 2000. Right? In the year 2000, it wasn't... I don't know what it was like to be in the truth pre-2000. Because, that was when we was being told, after 2 days he will revive us. So we thinking, brothers was thinking, right at that, as soon as the day 2 turned day 3, we gonna be revived. We gonna be restored to the kingdom of heaven, and that has not happened. So, from 2000 till now, because we didn't have technology like we have now back then in 2000. I'm not even sure. I'm not sure if there was I think Facebook came out in 2002, 2001. We didn't have YouTube. We definitely didn't have YouTube. Our version of YouTube was public access TV. So we didn't have all the things that we have now. We had men that were out in the streets preaching. And one thing that I do recognize about the post technology era, when YouTube and other things, a lot of brothers that were actually standing strong back then are no longer in the truth. Part of the reason why is because we call this the age of information. It's really the age of misinformation. It's a lot of false doctrines and false teachings that have hit the websites and being presented as fact. So you actually have a lot of... I remember I had a whole argument with a guy over sodomite rights, and he pulled out a bunch of Google, probably Wikipedia articles of animals that he claims were sodomites. And I'm like, none of this says that a man is supposed to lay with a man. None of this says that. One thing that I have to tell you, older brothers that left the truth, a lot of you niggas don't know how to. What's the word I'm looking for? Discriminate. Discrimination is not always a bad thing. Discriminate is you get a set of information, a set of facts, and you have to pick what's the truth. Everything you're given isn't necessarily true. Yes, there's a lot of animals that are supposedly sodomites that mate, quote unquote, with the same sex. But I'm pretty sure if you dig further into those facts, you find out something different. I don't know what it is. But either way, none of those facts support humans laying down with humans. So whether or not you got an animal or two that likes pickles in their mustard. I'm sorry, Apostle Tahar made that joke. That's gonna be always something I find funny and I'm gonna use. and give credit to him, of course. But that does not make sodomy or homosexuality any less evil in the eyes of the Most High, at least for humans. You know, I can't justify, you know, nothing about animals. Like I said, there might be animal shit. There might be some type of chemicals or something out there in the water that makes fish like pickles and mustard. I don't know. It might be the same as humans. It might be some damn chemtrails that are making animals turn sexes. I don't know. But what I want to say is, standing stiffly for the name of the Lord means you're unmovable. You can't move. You can't be taken out of it. I don't give a damn what article comes out of nowhere and says, oh no, the Bible's false, or what you're teaching out of the Bible is false. I remember a brother tried to tell me that the Sabbath isn't off the new moon based on some article he showed me. And he said, no, it doesn't add up because they attacked on the Sabbath, and no, that you don't know what they meant by Sabbath. You don't know if that could have been a month that the Sabbath was probably Friday sundown. You don't know. Like, there's a whole, like we, in this truth especially, we do a lot of biased scholarship, and that's what usually leads guys out of the truth. That same biased scholarship that brought you in will get you out. That's one thing that you have to understand. When you read the scriptures, you have to read the scriptures with a blank canvas, and that's the biggest problem with Israel. So when you're told, I was taught Friday, sundown, Saturday, sundown, Sabbath. Well, I wasn't thinking of it from a blank canvas, because I would have been like, well, how do we know that there hasn't been some type of change or whatever? Like, how do we know from the creation of humanity till now that Friday sundown was the day? How do we know that? And that wasn't, and what's funny about it is it was a question that either I asked or brothers asked. It was a question asked. How do we know? You know what I'm saying? And I got my answer after YouTube when I started disagreeing with some of the younger brothers of GMS. And later on, I got it. You know, that's something that right there shows me to be brotherly to brothers that don't get it. Because you never know, they might get it one day. I got it. There was a time where I would have argued you, hey, what do you mean the Sabbath is off the new moon? Where's that in the scriptures? And it's all over the scriptures. You got to think outside the Friday sundown, Saturday sundown box. It's a box, you know, but when you stand so stiffly, and that's one thing that you got to respect about these brothers out here with these unpopular doctrines. You know, the Israelite foreigners. You know how many people have tried to laugh at GMS and tried to say, oh, you know, this doctrine does, you know, they make it humorous. They make jokes out of it. And forget our doctrine. Oh man, they don't understand that. Because they think the word R is actually, you know what I'm saying, in a different light from what it actually is. You know what I mean? But they didn't give a fuck. They stood stiffly, just like we supposed to be doing over this doctrine, man. Just like we supposed to be standing stiffly. You know, but a lot of us, we don't have that. We're not built like that. A lot of y'all don't have that commitment. This is the age of breakups and camps breaking up and camps saying, oh yeah, let's split. It's so easy. This motherfucker was behind me in the fucking lane and didn't turn left when I turned left. Fucking people, I swear. But anyway. But yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about, man. When you stand so stiffly for something, you stand strong for it, and you stand strong behind it. You know, that's how you get to be in this truth 20, 30 years. You know, I'm still in this truth after 20 plus years. Why? Because nothing can take me out of, well, let me not say nothing, right? Because if the Lord don't want me, he'll get me out of here. But whatever demon Satan has to take me out of here has yet to be successful. Because you have to be single-minded in your focus on being in this faith. And it has to be regardless of pleasing man. Because let me tell y'all something. If I don't agree with something, I don't agree with it. And I'm not going to sit here and fucking act like I agree with it. You have to be single focused between you and the Most High. And it doesn't literally mean you got some type of direct connection to the Most High. But a lot of times, you're going to have to reject man. You're going to have to reject your own camp. You know, that's why brothers, before they was joking on me, calling me a camp hopper. But, yo, if there's something I don't agree with, I can't stick around for it. What do you expect me to do? Yeah, I got to jump camps. I'm going to be around brothers that are like-minded. You know, that's why I respect House of Israel. I could never be part of House of Israel as long as they're doing, you know, they believe certain things that they believe. It's not that I hate them. I love those brothers. I love all Israel, man. You know, but I have to stand stiffly for the Lord. You know, that's what that means. Stand stiffly, unmovable. You can't be taken out. Lord willing, the only way I get out of this truth, well, I wouldn't even get out this truth, but death. That's the only way this shell in front of you stops believing and teaching in the truth. It's because I'm now in spirit form. That's standing stiffly. That's not, because a lot of you niggas don't know how to stand stiffly. A lot of you niggas don't care about the Lord. A lot of you niggas ain't about the Lord, man. Let's be honest. A lot of you niggas is about men, and that's how you fucking leave this truth. I've been disappointed by almost all the men that I looked up to in this truth. Very few have not disappointed. Even the ones that have disappointed me, some disappointments are worse than others. But standing stiffly is, listen, all of them can disappoint me. I'm still in this truth. And I'm still going to do the right thing through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. That's what it's about. It's not about fucking man and trying to follow man and no. You got to follow the Lord, man. And that's how you stand stiffly for the Lord. You want to be one of those commended. You don't want to be one of those that the angels look at in disgust and say, nigga, you couldn't hang on for another year. You couldn't hang on for another decade. We've been hanging on for 2,000 years. You couldn't hang on for another few years. That's standing stiffly. Hanging on as long as it take. A lot of you don't have that patience. You don't have the endurance. Why does the scripture say the race is not to the swift? And I believe it's in Ecclesiastes. That's because you can come into this truth and learn your first year. You could be a fucking maverick. You could know the scriptures front and back. But are you built for endurance? You know, Lord willing, I still don't want to say that I'm of that number. I don't want to say that right now anything, because there's been men that stood strong 25 years and fell out. So I can't sit here in front and say, oh yeah, I'm definitely, or there's any indicator that I am. The only indicator that I may be, and that's the only thing, I may be of the Lord's elect, but I cannot, there's nothing guaranteeing it. But anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom.